Good morning, good afternoon and good evening from wherever you may be in the world, and welcome to Paddock Walk number 2 here at the Norrisring. We've just finished day number 2. Next to me is not Frederick as usual, but it's Jens. Jens, welcome to the Paddock Walk. First of all, very glad to have you. We've had an amazing day here at the Norrisring. 2 races today, 1 dry, 1 wet. First podium was Lucas Stiefelhagen winning the race, Kelvin de Groot in P2 and Enzo Holman in P3. Let's start at that race. The first race of the season for a lot of drivers. The car was new, the racing was new. What's your opinion on how it went?
Yeah, I would say then we had a really good day. Yeah, I can judge it because I was racing here by myself in the dry and in the wet, and I can tell you it's quite tricky as a driver, yeah, but nevertheless all the drivers, they managed quite well, yeah, so therefore we can be proud as a series and the drivers as well.
I want to talk a bit more about you. What's your position? What do you do within Next Gen Cup?
Yeah, so I'm supporting not only the drivers, yeah, I'm caring also about the commercial aspects, what means about our partners, about media, yeah, and this is how I support the series, yeah. So I think I followed the last season and I was quite impressed, yeah, because it was the first year, yeah, now it's the second year with DTM. I know every DTM track, not only as a driver, yeah, because I'm in motorsport business since a long time. I know Frederick a long time, yeah. So therefore we try to push it and make it better every year. Yeah.
You've driven a lot yourself, Formula 2, Formula 3, so you're quite an experienced driver. How is it like going into a first race in a car that you don't quite really know yet?
I drove the Mini in Oschersleben with DTM, yeah. So I was quite surprised because it was my first time driving an electric race car, yeah. So it's always new. It's always to get a new car. It's exciting, yeah, because you don't know about any individual movements of the car, yeah, in every corner, yeah. But I was quite impressed because, like I said, it was the first time I've driven an electric race car, and yeah, so therefore it's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. Well, we talked to Lucas, who won the race, of course, race number 1 earlier on. So let's see what Lucas had to say. Hi Lucas, a good start to the season for you, winning race number 1 and finishing 3rd in race number 2. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Of course, the first race was very good. It was close at the end, but I think I can be happy with it. And the second race was in the wet, of course. You could do a lot of different lines. Kelvin tried to go wide every time, and I tried to stay to the inside of the corner. I think I was a bit quicker than Kelvin, but yeah, unfortunately I couldn't catch him.
In the end, a P3 and a P1 gives you the championship leads. You must be happy with that, considering that this is also for you only your 2nd weekend in a car like this.
Yes, I'm very happy with it. Of course, tomorrow we have still a qualifying and 2 races, so anything can happen. But yeah, I think I have a good chance to be on the podium again.
So, like you said, tomorrow we reset everything. Being the championship leader now, what are you aiming for?
Well, of course the win, but I just will try to not crash to keep the points.
All right, Lucas, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So clearly a very happy Lucas Stiefelhagen leading the championship now, Jens. I think what's important for him is that he keeps his spirits up, especially now that he's in the championship. Going into tomorrow, of course, his aspirations are once again to win. But you also have to consider you're a contender for the title now, having started like this. You as a driver, how do you handle these kind of high pressure situations?
I mean, you mentioned it, yeah, the pressure situation, yeah. I mean, if you're a leader of a championship, you always have the pressure, yeah, because the other drivers are hunting you, yeah. So this means it's very, very individual, I would say, yeah. Some like the leading position and feel confident about it, but some drivers also have the pressure on the shoulders, yeah. Remember last year, the last weekend, yeah. A champion decision is nothing what we have in the first weekend. Yeah, I mean this means you must be confident during the whole year, and then you can win the championship. Now the pressure is on his shoulder. Let's see how he will manage it.
there is a chance of more rain tomorrow. We're going to shoot it to race 2 because of that, because race 2 was completely wet. Rain during race 2, it had rained before. It started raining kind of during the DTM race. We saw some questionable strategy decisions there, but that was all quite fun to watch, I have to say. Coming to race 2, Jens, starting in the dry, we started behind the safety car. This is a good thing, I would say, for some drivers new to the track, new to the car, first time in the rain. Good to feel these conditions. During these safety car periods, how do you kind of try and feel the conditions and how and where the grip is? Because the pace is limited, of course, behind the safety car.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think first of all, it was the right decision to start under the safety car, yeah, because no driver had the experience here in the red, yeah. So
yeah.
The race director took the right decision, I would say, and the result was that we had no crash, yeah. So I mean, therefore, it was quite good for the driver, yeah, because without having a feeling, starting a race and then it's wet and you don't have the experience, yeah, it's never good, yeah. So therefore. When you don't know the car, especially like some drivers, you don't know the car in the wet. Yeah, you really need a bit of experience, some laps to feel confident. Yeah, and this is exactly what we have seen today. Yeah, those drivers who didn't join the series last season, yeah, they needed a bit of time. Yeah, just to feel confident. Yeah, to get tire pressure up, and yeah, therefore some had an advantage who drove the series last year. Yeah, so we will see how it will be tomorrow.
We talked to a driver who was new to the series, Sophie Hoffman. Let's hear what she had to say. Hi Sophie, good second race for you. You had a bit of a moment, first time also in the rain. Tell us all about it.
So yeah, obviously it's a bit different in the rain to race, especially with this car. So it was yeah, quite different to what I know from racing in rain. Yeah, I think it could have been worse. Unfortunately, I spun in one of the last rounds, so that was really yeah, sad. But in the end, I think it was good experience, and for next time I'll be a bit prepared.
You also had your first race in the Next Gen Cup before this. This was in the dry. How was the car during a race?
So the car felt really good. We changed a couple of things on the setup, and I felt really good. Yeah, I think in the dry I'm pretty good, and yeah, I don't know what else I can say. So I think the race pace in the first race was definitely pretty good, and yeah, I got to close the gaps in front of me and had a good position in the end, so I'm satisfied.
So tomorrow we go again, race 3, race 4 and the new qualifying. What are you aiming for qualifying?
So I would really like to aim the top 10 for qualifying. So that I have a better position for the first race, and yeah, then we will see.
All right, Sophie, thank you.
Thank you.
So a lot to learn for Sophie, of course, coming new into these series. I would say wet conditions are always tricky, especially in a car that you don't know. You actually, Jens, drove your first race in the wet at this track as well. Tell us how you took those challenges.
I mean, honestly, let's not talk about, because it was not very good. Yeah. So I didn't manage it at all. Yeah. So I would say I was very carefully. It was a Formula BMW race. Yeah.
Okay.
I think 20 years ago now or around. It was 2005. Yeah. So I was really carefully. Yeah. I didn't want to crash with the car. Yeah. So therefore, I really know the challenge.
Yeah. Well, Sophie is trying her best. Of course, tomorrow new chances, qualifying again. 2 new races. Resetting your mind is important as a racing driver. I think the mental aspect sometimes is forgotten by a lot of people in the racing scene. How difficult is it to, after a day like this, where things might not have gone your way, to reset and go again tomorrow?
I mean, it's very important. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it is needed, yeah, that you refresh your mind. Yeah. It is. You must make sure that you are aware of the situation that it's a new day. It doesn't matter if you win the race today, yeah, or if you have a crash, yeah. You must refresh and think, okay, it's a new day. Let's start fresh. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that we can throw it now to Sophie. I spoke to her a little bit, to Patricia. I spoke to her a little bit earlier on. Also someone new to the car, but someone who worked in it a little bit different. Talked a lot to her engineer. Let's hear from Patricia. Hi Patricia. A good weekend for you so far. You've been working a lot with the engineers to get the car to your liking. How's it going so far?
Yeah, it's going really good actually. So we had a couple reroutes because yesterday for the qualifying we went in a different direction than today for the race. The race was feeling quite good actually. But then again, now that it started raining for race 2, I couldn't maximize it, so I'm quite upset again. Hopefully for tomorrow, if it should rain again, I know better what to do. I was struggling a lot in the beginning, but yeah, again, it's experience. I'm all new to this, so still happy about the progress. However, as long as I'm not on the podium, obviously there's still some places to go.
You got your first taste yesterday of the car in the dry. Now in race 2, you got your first taste of the car in the wet. How did it feel in the wet?
A bit scary, I must say, because like locking up and having understeer at the exit of the corner and coming close to the walls here at Norrisring was a bit scary, especially if you don't know how the car is going to react and how to do it yourself. So yeah, again, I was taking it slow, so that cost me a couple places in the beginning of the race, which is sad, but now I know better. But yeah, I think I've gotten a feeling for it. It's very sensitive in the rain, so you have to be very easy and very gentle, and then you're faster. So I was taking it a bit too rough on the throttle, for example, and a bit too rough on the brakes. But like I said, yeah, just getting the experience in.
We reset everything tomorrow, new qualifying, 2 new races. What are you aiming for?
I'm very happy about that, so it's really cool that we have 4 races this weekend, so it's a lot of track time. Like I said, I'm aiming for a podium at least. I think it's within range. Just have to put it all together, and not every race it's like new and you have to get the testing in before you even try to push further. So now that I think I got all the testing in with having qualifying, having a wet race, having a dry race, I hope I'm prepared in all cases for tomorrow.
Right, Patricia, thank you very much and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you as well.
So Patricia works in a little bit of a different way. I know that I, Patricia, would like a bit more front end on this car. I would also like to ask my engineer, but we can also ask our racing driver, Jens. that was a funny start, wasn't it?
It was. I come to the other side.
Yeah. Well, engineers are so important. Patricia works with them very closely. She likes to work with her engineer. She likes to talk a lot. I think she was one of the few who in the morning before race number 1 actually went to her engineer and talked with the engineer about what they maybe could do more or to change maybe the setup a little bit. You can only change so much, but how important is it to work with your engineers and talk to them?
I mean, it's very important. Yeah, I mean, but first of all, you must really say that it's not only the engineering part, it's also a driver coach. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes you really make mistakes, yeah, and therefore it's not only that you are working with the setup, it's you work also with the driving style. Yeah. For example, when it's wet, you get some suggestion from the driver coach. Yeah. So therefore, it is something in between. Yeah, where you always find things to improve. Yeah.
I think this is very important. Like we say, it goes back to that mental aspect of things, to reset, go again. Patricia, aiming for a podium tomorrow, I think this is very possible for Patricia. You can see that the pace was there. You can also see in the rain she struggled a little bit to find her groove, but once she found where the grip was, she could hold her own, and she even gained a couple of positions again.
Yeah, I must say, honestly, she did it quite intelligent, yeah, because there's no need to push too hard when you're new on a car. Yeah. So therefore, honestly, it was something I expected. Yeah. Not to crash. Yeah. And so therefore, we have seen that the speed is there now, also in the rain. Yeah. It was needed that she feels confident also in the rain, that she knows, okay, this is the way how to brake in the rain. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's dry or not. Tomorrow, yeah, she will manage it, yeah, and she has the speed to make a podium.
Yeah. I mean, this learning process for a lot of drivers, they've now got really both. They've had dry running, they've had wet running. They've basically had all their testing they could in 2 days. So I think tomorrow we'll see where we'll really see where the true pace of these drivers is, and who we can expect to be towards the top for this season.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. And this is also, as I mentioned, it is about working hard on your own, but also with the racing engineers, yeah, or driver coaches, yeah, because there are always little things to improve, yeah, and especially we have seen here it is quite tight, yeah. There you really have to find the little things to improve, yeah. There's where you get the advantage. This means also working hard on yourself, working right with the engineers, yeah. Finally, to win a race, yeah, because it is not only speed, it's also hard work.
Yes. Indeed, Jens, it is.
It is hard work even when it looks quite easy from the outside.
They
like
make
today
it look
to-
easy because they're
Exactly.
so good at it.
Exactly, this is what I really want to mention, yeah, because we had really good races, yeah, but no one knows how hard it is to be concentrated and stay focused, yeah, during a race, yeah. So therefore, a big compliment to all the drivers, yeah, they managed, all the drivers managed quite well.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we got a warning earlier on for the rain. I'm going to give you a warning for tomorrow, because if today is anything to go by, the racing and the qualifying for tomorrow is definitely something you do not want to miss. Jens, thank you very much for this paddock walk. You've been of great information. Once again, another driver. Frederick, of course, is usually next to me, also a driver himself. Great to have you along on this show, Jens. I'm going to thank you at home very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.